Let's talk about what we're looking at on this day. First thing, what do I want to always start off with? Look at the number one top gainer. When I look at the number one top gainer, I see LSDI. This stock is currently up 352%. This stock has 1 million in float. Obviously, from our previous lessons, you guys know, hey, a stock that has 1 million in float, that's up 352%. This stock better have some sort of amazing press release behind it. It has monster volume at this moment. Stock is going absolutely crazy. This is a play that definitely has a lot of room to fall. If a stock has spiked 350% on the upside, it has room to fall all the way back on down as well. So let's do a little bit of a deep dive in on this play right now and try to figure out, is this play actually worth our time? You might notice my news scanner is not here today. So let's go ahead and do this the old fashioned way, looking up the news on what's happening over on LSDI and why this play might have some activity towards it. So when I take a look over on LSDI, I don't actually see any news at all this morning. LSDI, when I take a look over on this play, you guys can see, here's LSDI 15 hours ago was the last press release, not this morning. And the press release that came on out wasn't even a press release. It was a filing. There's nothing really on LSDI. This was, again, a filing, a 10Q filing. So what is a 10Q filing? This is basically just giving us a little bit of a quarterly report. So it's giving us a quarterly update, okay? So we have a quarterly report, which is almost just like an earnings report. So our earnings report's the biggest thing in the world. Should earnings reports lead to 350% spikes? In most cases, no, right? They really should. So I'm asking myself at this moment, LSDI, this stock has gone from 58 cents all the way up towards $2.30. What is going to happen here? How are other traders going to perceive this? Now, I know as a shorter, I know that this stock has a better chance of falling than spiking. Let's take a look at the past chart history pattern together. Traders, what has LSDI done over the past year? Over the past year, it has gone from $40 and has faded and fallen and dropped and got weaker and weaker and weaker all the way down towards 46 cents. Do you guys think that a quarterly report is going to make this stock spike all the way back up to $40 and actually be a good play? No. This play is going to do exactly what it did probably right around this area right here, right? Where the stock just went on a big time spike, came right back on down. So it's going to be very similar to that manner. So we already know that LSDI is going to give back all of its gains in the future. We already know that LSDI is most likely going to have a big crack, big fall, and probably be back underneath $1 in the upcoming days, the upcoming weeks. But the thing is, LSDI isn't going to get any hype at the start of the day. You can't just say, hey, Deck, let's go ahead and short it right now at $2.15. Because what if it runs up to $3? What if it runs up to $4? What if it runs up to $5? So really the secret that we're trying to do here is we are trying to wait for the spike and then get it as it's starting to reverse on down where it's pretty much done with. To go ahead and short plays right at the start of the day is a little bit scary. Now you will win some, you will lose some. And if you are willing to hold, you'll probably win a lot of them. But are you willing to hold if LSDI goes up to $3, $4, $5 and keeps on squeezing, right? So that's the issue there. You don't want to just get squeezed and keep going higher. So we want to look at where is there again some areas of resistance, right? So always again, we grab the daily chart and we try to figure out where there are going to be areas of resistance on this play. Now, the easiest area to be able to see resistance is going to be, first things first, the 200-day moving average. So I can realize a very popular indicator right here, 200-day moving average, that's going to be a strong resistance line. That's at the price of 326. If we get up towards around the price of 326, that's going to be an area that most likely we are going to start turning and falling at. Now, 326 is a great area, but I'm also looking at a lot of the previous history here. And I can actually see some old bottoms kind of line up with a lot of old tops. I'm actually going to adjust this line here. And you know what I see a little bit better? I see kind of right around this, 290-ish mark is actually a little bit better. And just take notice of this. The lower shadow bounces off 290. Lower shadow bounces off 290. We basically are sitting right at 290. Then of course, what happens? We have top resistance at 290, top resistance at 290, top resistance at 290. You can see we have some resistance right around like 285 right here. So I'm saying if again, LSDI spikes on up, I think 290 would be a great area, or right around 290 would be a great area where traders would be saying to themselves, hey, there's an opportunity we start giving some back. If this stock continues to spike up even higher, it would be right around that 320-ish mark. Now, Deck, what if it gets above 290 and what if it gets above and holds 320? Then unfortunately, you have to get out. You have to get out and you have to say, okay, let me figure out where it's going to be going up next to. Could it get up to $4? Could it get up to $5? Could this keep going higher and higher and higher? So the thing is, LSDI right here, this is the play that I definitely want to be keeping our eyes peeled on. Now, I posted this over in chat as well, where I put in earlier here today. Let's see, this was at the time of what? This right here, I said, if you wanted to short this play, this was at 8:42 in the morning. So about 45 minutes ago, those were the locate fees. It costed $5 to short LSDI. Let's see what the locate fees are now. Because remember what I told you guys yesterday, first come, first serve. The people that locate their shares early are going to be the people that, again, are going to be getting the best price. Doesn't mean you got to jump in. It just means you have to locate your shares early. So let's see what we have here. If I go over over to LSDI, right? Let's go to cancel this. LSDI, are they still $5? I don't know. I haven't checked. Let's see. Locate. Nope, they're still $5. So boom, that's great. So they didn't go up in price. I actually thought they might have gone up in price, but it's great that they didn't go up in price. So, everyone could still be able to get their locate fees for a relatively good area. So if you are 100% set saying, Deck, I am shorting LSDI at some point throughout today, you can go ahead and you can pay that locate fee if you guys would like to. So that is definitely going to be something that, you guys would be aware of. Now, if you guys are very interested on this play, let's keep our eyes peeled on it right at the start and see what happens. So let's see how LSDI opens on up. See if LSDI opens on up with a quick little hold, quick little spike, what this play may be doing here in the near future. LSDI already started on off with a little bit of a morning drop. LSDI, as you guys can see, people are shorting this play, already starting to get weakness right off the drop here. What do you guys do next? Now you guys head on over to www.nasdaqtrader.com/trading halts. And what do you guys realize? LSDI. LSDI is halted at the time of 9:30 and 45 seconds. It will be getting unhalted at 9:35 and 45 seconds, right? So we will be getting unhalted in about 2 minutes from now. And this gives you about 2 minutes to figure out, okay, is there going to be a bounce play or not? I can ask the chat right now. Is there any person at this moment that pulled the trigger on the short side right when this opened on up? LSDI, it's up over 300%. LSDI has all this room to be able to fall. LSDI is a stock that has been fading and falling for the last 9 months. LSDI is a stock that is almost guaranteed to give back all of its gains in the next few days. But what's the issue is? The issue is there's still traders out there that says, oh, Deck, can I buy LSDI? Hey, it's like when I go on Twitter, I feel like everyone's like in a different world. I guess it's almost like the Matrix in a way, right? That you just you don't understand that there's so much more out there, right? So it's I get this question. I literally saw this question today. Someone hit me up on Twitter and they said, Deck, LSDI, you see it's up over 310%. I'm buying in right now. There's just some I can't help. If you're buying into a stock that's up over 300% with no news other than a quarterly report on a stock that has a low float, you have to know this is just a social media pump. This is just a pump play. Yes, this play again has been falling for the last 10 months. This play is up 300%. It's probably going to give back all of its gains. This play is a low float stock. It's going to dump. So do you think there's a little bit left on the upside? Oh, baby, I just want to buy it. Oh, I just want to buy every play I see. I don't want to miss out on it. It's guys, just short it. We got to wake up here a little bit, people. These are things that we got to be able to figure out, be able to become better on day in and day out. LSDI is now live. Let's see if this one is just going to dump on off here. I would love it. I would love if it was able to spike back on up. I would love to see if this one was able to spike back on up. I would love to see if this one was going to be able to get that rip and run. Guys, it looks like it's about to get halted on the downside once again. Remember, we got LULD, limit up, limit down. LULD, limit up, limit down. Are we halted yet? The answer is no. Remember, we have to wait until we're zeroed out to get halted. And there's the zeroed out and we're halted again on the downside. So Deck, if I shorted this play, guess what? You would have made money. So starting off at the very beginning of the day, very risky to short plays right at the bell because you could always get that initial pop. But guess what? This one opened on up and it dumped on down. And now guess what? This is where I go on Twitter. This is where I go on Stock Twits. This is where I go to my emails. And this is where people give me this question. They say, Deck, the stock market's so unfair. Every time I buy a play, it does the opposite thing I want. Every time I buy a play, every single time I buy a stock, it always goes against me. And I say, didn't you just buy a stock that's up over 300% that's been falling for the last 10 months? And every single time it spikes, it gives back its gains? Yep, that's the one I bought. Exactly. So what are you mad about? Well, every time I buy it, it goes down, right? So we just honestly have to start thinking these plays through a little bit more. These are, again, plays that we have to, again, start saying to ourselves at this moment, obviously it's going to fall. So let's, again, be on that side that there's a more opportunity for us. So great to see over on LSDI right here. Now, LSDI is back and live. And as you guys can see so far, take a look here. Let's go over that. Something very important, traders. What did I teach you guys yesterday? Who can take a guess on what I'm about to say? I taught you guys 3 trading strategies yesterday for shorting. These are my favorite ones. These are the ones that work. These are the ones that, can make you guys a lot of money. What were those trading strategies yesterday? Quick little recap. Number 1, those are going to be upper shadows, right? Number 2, shorting previous top gainers. The stocks that, again, were the best spikers yesterday. And number 3, this is hands down the most profitable, shorting pre-market top gainers. Stocks that, again, gap up 300% and now have all this room to be able to fall. And I showed you guys how every single gap up has a monster dump, right? Every gap up has a monster dump. Every gap up has a monster dump. Take a look at what's happening over on LSDI today. Hello, baby. You guys can see, again, gap up towards, again, 215, and now it's dumping back on down towards, again, 170. So you can see how just like this is already what I'm teaching you is already working. FFIE, this play, trying to work its way on up. FFIE right here. What is so important about this one? This is a meme stock. AMC, FFIE, GameStop. These are all meme plays. FFIE has strong $1 resistance. So $1 is going to be very strong strong resistance. This is where we turned off yesterday. Now, what do you guys realize? $1 is usually a very strong resistance area. So you guys can see right here, $1 top resistance gets a nice pullback. $1 top resistance gets a nice pullback. $1 usually gets a top resistance, we'll get a nice pullback. If FFIE breaks $1, that's where we're gonna spike on up. Get out of your own bubble. That's what I gotta say to you guys, and that's what I say to myself every single day. I try to be non-biased on my plays. I don't sit here and I say, what am I gonna trade today? What am I gonna jump in on today? What am I going to do? I try to look at a play and I try to get outside of my mind and I say, how does everyone else perceive this play? Well, I could sit here with all my might and say, please break $1. Please go above $1. Or I could say, it hit $1, it's sold on off. It hit $1, it's sold on off. Probably if it hits $1 again, it's probably gonna sell on off. But if it breaks $1, then yes, that would probably bring in a lot of excitement. So I'm trying to, see it. How are other people seeing it? I'm trying to see it on how other people are realizing these plays. I'm trying to see it on how other people are doing their moves here today. So that is going to be extremely crucial that every single trader understands that you want to be seeing how other people perceive these plays. Now, how do other people see $1? I'll tell you right now. $1 is a strong psychological number. It is only from 99 cents to $1. There's not that much big of a difference. It's 1 penny. But to the average trader, no, it's way more than the 1 penny. For the average trader, going from 99 cents to $1, that's now a dollar per share company. We're going from penny stock to now dollar per share on the company. And that's what's bringing in a lot of excitement. That's what's bringing in a lot of hype. That's what's bringing in a lot of action towards it. So I want you guys to realize that these psychological numbers are always going to be areas that we reverse at. You might say, Deck, well, what are the psychological numbers? Psychological numbers are going to be $1, are going to be $5, are going to be $10. Every $5 increment, so $15, $20, $25, then $50, then $50 increments, $50, $100, $150, $200, $250, then $250 increments, $250, $500, $1,000. These are going to be huge numbers. When you kind of break into the next level, it's very difficult to do. From this point on, you will start realizing that stocks tend to always turn at the $1 mark. And you will realize that stocks always tend to turn at the $5 mark. And stocks always tend to turn at the $10 mark. And we usually see these areas always have some sort of turn. So I don't want to get too into it because we have a whole entire lesson on it, but just giving you guys an update and an understanding of what we have already at this very beginning.